Hello, good morning to all our viewers from around the world. Welcome to QTV. This morning, I am Ibrahim Balde, the VJ. So we are back again, Mr. Ade and Julde.
We are indeed back again.
The setup was this way yesterday, and it is today as well.
The terrible trio, or the, I'm not sure, what do they call us? You know, they talk about dynamic duo. So what are we, the terrible trio?
No, the amazing trio.
Okay, it doesn't quite stand.
Yeah, so Julde, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Good morning, Balde.
That's a nice outfit there.
Thank you.
I mean, you're killing it. You're killing it from last month to this month. You're killing it.
You know, that's in his job description that he always has to comment on your outfit.
Yeah.
It's actually in his job description.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I love.
He's just admiring.
No, it's in his job description.
It's appreciating beautiful things.
Absolutely.
I mean, appreciating beautiful things. I mean, it's human. I mean, it's part of the human nature.
Balde is not a jealous type,
We love
so he
beautiful
always
things.
acknowledges
He's not a
people
hater.
when they are nice.
I'm
He's
not a hater.
Yeah, he's not a hater. The VJ is not a hater. So good morning to you. Good morning to our viewers from wherever you're watching us. It's always good to be back on this platform to discuss interesting things happening in the country, but also around the world. Mr.
This
Ali.
is true. This is true. In the country and around the world, and of course, as when Balde takes us through our menu for today, he will tell us what else is going on, and then people will get exactly that. It's not just about what's happening here. It's stuff beyond our
Absolutely.
borders.
Food is ready. Let's serve. We'll be taking a look at the African proverb, and then we'll be talking to Mam Sheikh Ngom of QTV, currently in London, to attending the World Tourism Market update. We'll be having an update here. As you know, it's a big event that happened.
It's actually called the World Travel Market.
Market,
I'm not sure
yes.
how you turn it to
Well, the
here.
update, I've seen
But
it
it's
on the
called
running
World
order, yes,
Travel
the
Market.
World Travel Market, whereby different countries, converge at one place and sell their
In
destination.
fact, almost every country.
Yes.
There are over 180 countries and territories that display over 5,000 sort of setups there. It's fantastic.
Yes.
I've attended several times.
Yes, and then we'll also be looking at the Department of Parks and Wildlife Management on Mangrove Restoration Forum. We'll be talking to Mr. Kausu Jame, coordinator. So we'll be doing that, and the click returns.
Click segment.
Yes,
Back.
with Churchill Balde, we'll be having Hussein in the
Hussein Dada.
studio. Yes, Dada Gayap. So Julde, take us through the proverb.
So our African proverb this morning, Balde, is if anyone makes you laugh, it is not always because they love you. If anyone makes you laugh, it is not always because they love you.
I'm confused.
Listen, you know, generally
All that
when we
glitters
have
is
these
not gold.
when we have these proverbs, you know, many times Julde will say, I don't understand this one. Julde, I'm being you today. I have no clue what they mean by
Because
this.
what I believe is,
Yeah,
It doesn't
and
even
for
make
me-
sense
when
to me.
someone
For me-
loves you, they make you laugh.
Always.
When someone hates you, they cannot make you laugh. I don't know.
It said it is not
Not
always. That's what
Because they
defines it. It is not
always.
always.
Yeah, I think that is the phrase word for me there. It is not always because they love you.
So you need them two together. If anyone makes you laugh, if anyone makes you laugh, anyone, it is not always because they love you. So sometimes people make you laugh, it's because they love you. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't get this. I have to hold my hands up. I could try and interpret. I mean, Julde was interpreting, and I interrupted. She was saying it's not all that glitters that is gold. But I'm not sure that's
Well, this
quite what this says.
a
I don't
little,
know.
this a little bit jolted my brain.
I'm
mean,
good. Oh, good.
A lot,
Balde and his
a lot
words.
of amalgamation here.
Oh, good. Please amalgamate and explicate because so how did it
So,
jolt your
Julde,
brain?
please help us and delve into this, if possible.
Yeah, Julde
So
was.
he is finding an escape route. But anyway, so I don't know. You don't have to agree with me, okay? It's just a trial. I'm not trying to run
there's a
away
very
like
good
all
chance
of
we
you
won't
today.
agree with you, but please carry on.
So if anyone makes you laugh, it is not always because they love you. Yeah, obviously, sometimes people can make you laugh, and then, maybe they have an ulterior motive. You know, sometimes people can be nice. People that hate you the most can be nice to you, not because they want to be nice, but because maybe they have an ulterior motive, or they have something that they really want to get from you. So it's not always that people that love you or make you laugh are the people that really love you, really. Sometimes it's not just what is the facial expression, it's not what is really inside. So we ought to be really cautious as to what we do. You did mention that if someone does not love you, they cannot make you laugh. How about the comedians?
Well,
They're making
you took
us laugh.
that very word out of my. I was going to say, what about the comedians?
Yeah,
People
they make us
people
laugh,
make
but
us laugh all the
doesn't
time.
necessarily mean that they love us.
necessarily.
So that is why it's important sometimes to be really careful about the people that you talk to, the people that you share your stuff with, the people especially that always are there, you know, laughing with you, not knowing that they are really digging your graveyard for you. It's not always, you know, what is there that is there. So I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. But at least I said something.
Yeah, but for me, this is like, you know, when you have those exam papers and it says you have to answer 15 out of these 20, this will be one of the 5 that I would skip, because it just doesn't do it for me. I don't even understand what it's getting at. I really don't. I know Jules had a very good attempt at it, but I'm sorry to say that it's completely lost.
Yeah,
me.
it's a bit confusing.
Which is good, because
no, it's good. It makes
it makes you think.
It makes you cogitate.
Well, this is it. It made me think, but my
We should
thinking
send him
led
back
nowhere.
to his nursing class, really.
My thinking led me nowhere. I keep going over it again and again. If anyone makes you laugh, it is not always because they love you. So I'll be very careful now when people make me laugh. I'll have to stop them and ask them, "Do you love me?" You know. But yeah, come on, this one. I'm sorry.
You can't.
It's got me.
Balde, who?
Love. Mr. Ade, you talked about love. I mean, do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
I discussed one of my...
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I had a phone call with somebody and we discussed that this morning, this very morning, and you weren't even aware.
Love at first sight. You just see a person, tell the person, I love you.
Yes.
And, you know, you look at the person and you love the person.
And you know why we had this conversation? Because a female friend of mine was claiming that, you know, what attracts her to people is not their looks, but their personality. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, if you are at one end of a room and somebody is at the other end of the room and there are 200 people between you, how do you know that person's personality? There's probably something about their face that attracts you, that made you look at them, and maybe you let them look at you. So don't give me this personality thing. When you get to know somebody, you might get to know their personality. But they were trying to say that, oh, you know, it's not looks that attract people. I said, well, yeah, it might not make you stay with them or want to be with them or whatever, but it might make you look at them. When you get to them, you might say they're handsome or they're pretty or whatever, but I don't like their personality. But you don't know that just by seeing them. What you see is the face. And I said, okay, I've given you the example. Tell me how that works. You're there, the person's there, and there are 200 people between you. Something made you think, let me go and meet that person, talk to them, or whatever. You know. So
what about if that person rejects you?
it happens. We've all been and we've all had rejection. I mean, those who haven't, they're lying.
For the past 1 year, I've been going through heartbreaks in our office.
You?
Yes,
Oh dear.
in the office.
You're trying to get a second wife?
I have been in love with Teres for a very long time.
Ooh.
She's
And
been
she's rejected.
throwing me up and down.
But
Is
Teres,
that fair?
I think Teres is already spoken for, isn't she? I
She's
think
not taken.
She has an intended, as
I am
we
trying
call
to.
it.
I am trying to do a coup d'état in her love life.
Teres.
It's a good
I'm
thing
staging
that
a
she
coup d'etat.
rejected you.
But in answer to your first question, I mean, it's one of these things that people debate a lot. And for as long as human beings are around, it will always be a debate. Can there be love at first sight? There are many people who that was the case. And you know, they've gone on. Some, it's ended up working out, but others, it doesn't. But it happens. It happens. Because as human beings, we're there's something about us that if we see somebody we find attractive, it's very likely that's the person that we're going to go and speak to. And yet, it probably doesn't mean that it's you know.
It is what it is.
It is
Yes.
what it
So,
is.
Juliet, what about you?
Love
Do you
is
believe
first
in
sight.
love at first sight? I want to hear Julia's love stories.
Well, she doesn't have to tell us a love story. She just needs to tell us whether
I
she
just want
believes
to hear-
such a thing
I
exists.
just want to hear
Yeah,
her own version of, I mean,
I
narrating.
don't think she, because if
Do-
she tells
do
it
you-
to you, she's not just telling it to you, she's telling it to the
To
whole
the
world.
world.
So, Julia,
So let's tell the
Absolutely.
world.
keep that in mind.
No, we are not telling the world, Balde. But yeah, I totally agree with Mr. Ade. There is always love at first sight, and it's not always about, you know, falling in love, like that romantic love. But
Yeah.
it's good that I have someone like a sister, Jamila. She just saw me on TV
you
and
gonna
she
name
really
that now?
loves
Okay,
me.
yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Julde, I really like you and I love you, really. So it was for her love at first sight. She saw me on TV and that's it for her. And since then, she has been there. So it happens. Sometimes you just see people and be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I love this person. So it's not always about your relatives or the people that you know. Sometimes you just see them visually and then, yeah, it clicked. You said, okay, I
yeah.
think this is the person that I really can
True.
go on
You
with.
can match with,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. All right, interesting.
It's-
All right, so that is it. That is what it is now.
It is what it
Now
is.
we will take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G Speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We are back. This is QTV This Morning. Now let's take a look at some of these stories. But first, I'd like to bring to our attention, I watched a video yesterday on the press conference of the Brikama Area Council Chairman, Yanks. I mean, trying to show the level of corruption in the previous regime at the Brikama Area Council.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, a lot of things have been shown, and a lot of fraud, shown on papers, because they were showing the documents.
Yeah.
At some point, a lot of forgery when it comes to signatures.
Yes.
According to him, this is why the Brikama Area Council have not been performing for a very long time.
Yes. I mean, I have to
Fingers
confess-
pointed at
Sure.
the
Yeah,
at the former CEO,
That's
Jonga.
right, sure.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't see the press conference, but I think if anybody has been watching the Commission of Inquiry, what you've just mentioned actually will resonate with them, because from what we've seen and heard, that seems to be have been rampant across all councils, and I'm sorry to say, certainly of the ones we've heard so far. And because it seems so endemic, it's everywhere, I'd be surprised if any council was exempt. So Brikama, Wujabawan, Basse, I suspect we're going to find pretty much the same thing. There seems to have been a culture of impunity, a culture of corruption, a culture of nepotism, people appointing friends, family, people disobeying the rules. They tell you, oh, but this is the guidebook, and the guidebook says 3 people have to be signatories before that amount of money can be released. And yet, in several occasions, just one person signed, and the money was released. Money was meant to be banked at a certain time, and then, it wasn't banked. Somebody said, oh, no, I put it into my personal account. I mean, it's been quite shocking. So that, I suspect, people are not going to go in horror as it's a big revelation. They'll just say this tallies with everything we've heard and seen so far from the other councils that have gone before the Commission.
Putting money in your personal account, how do we call that? Is it a federal crime or what? I mean,
well, we're not America, so it's not a federal crime.
You know.
But it's it's criminal, and it's against the rules. And when it happens and where it happens, people should be sanctioned. So as you've said, they were brandishing papers and showing that this is the evidence and so on. I guess the people who are accused may try and defend themselves, as we saw with the Commission of Inquiry. Some of them tried to, but they did a very poor job of defending themselves. In fact, they ended up implicating themselves even more by saying, yes, I admit I did this, I did this, I did that. It's been quite shocking for me. And I keep saying people should watch it, because some of the revelations have been nothing short of scandalous, really.
Yeah, so on this standard headline, court orders return of seized assets of PPP ministers. I am pretty sure it's talking about the Jawara regime.
I would imagine
yes,
so.
the ministers. So
imagine.
court is ordering the government to return some of their assets.
That was seized. Yeah, I mean, we hope that they would comply with the court. I mean, I spoke a lot about the last issue, so perhaps Julia wants to come in here. But just briefly, I would say the court has issued an order, and we hope the order will be complied with. And the reason I say that, there's a scandalous case in Nigeria where High Court has issued an order that a particular guy should be released from custody, and the police have refused to release him, despite the court order. Quite shocking. So I hope we don't have that kind of nonsense happening here in the Gambia.
In Senegal.
It's happened.
Yeah.
So on the PPP one,
Well, it depends. I mean, looking at the assets themselves, for me,
what has happened?
we
to
have
them?
to go through the history of the way the assets were
What
acquired. If they belongs to the state,
But
the
a
state
court
needs to
has
maintain them.
determined that.
Determined that.
That's why the court has made a judgment. The court has determined that.
Yeah.
The court hasn't just said, "Oh, here, let's make an order." They would have determined that. And if they have determined that they were acquired justly, then they will say return them.
So it's just like the case of Jammeh, when he left, and then there's the Barrow-led administration seized some of the assets, of Jammeh and
Well, it
and
was
all
the
of
Jammeh Commission.
the Jammeh Commission.
That sat, yes.
Exactly, but it's I mean Barrow-led administration.
Yeah.
So it's the same as Jawara's. When Jawara, moved, when Jammeh came in, and then he seized lots of assets from the ministers, from Jawara himself and others. So, sometimes the court also looked at this and then determined that these assets are maybe legally acquired by some of these ministers.
Sure.
And
but the
then
reason
they
I was
ordered
interrupting, is when you said the Jammeh. No, in the case of Barrow, there was an independent commission
of
which
inquiry.
determined.
I know, the Jammeh Commission.
In the case of a lot of the assets that were seized under Jammeh, there was no such thing. He decided that those assets should be seized. So there's a difference that needs to be
But I mean,
recognized.
if you can recall, when Jammeh also took over power in 1994, around 96, there was a commission called the Al-Ghali Commission.
Al-Ghali Commission.
Yeah, so
I remember it well.
Yeah, so I think they need to go through the records again and check this properly. But
which is what the court did.
yes. All right. Let's see what will happen if the government is going to abide by what the court says.
This just goes to say that some of these things really take time. Imagine 30 years later, we've seen that justice has been served. So yeah, these things take time, and I know that the victims also, the recommendations will take time. There has been recommendations, and who knows, maybe it could be during Barrow's time, but maybe it could be also after his time. So these things really take time, but the most important thing is that justice is served at the end of the day.
Although they say justice delayed is justice
denied.
So 30 years later, some of the people whose assets were seized are probably dead.
True.
Yeah.
And
NACA orders 7 training institutions to close. NACA, they are responsible for all these training institutions. They give them accreditation. For them to operate, and all their certificates, most of them are signed by NACA. So they are ordered 7 institutions to close. I am not sure which institutions, but I know maybe they did not meet that standard.
Certain standards were not met. You're right. And when we hear things like this, we are thankful, because it shows that we always say these organizations don't have teeth. Their mandate says they can do this, they can do that, but they end up not doing it. And this, I'd really like to know, maybe we should contact them and find out what these organizations are. I even speak to the people of these 7 organizations that have been asked to close or forced to close. So Julde, I don't know what your
Yeah,
thoughts
I
are.
mean, it's a good initiative. Oftentimes we point fingers at institutions like NACA, PURA,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they are not
quite.
really doing their
Quite.
job.
Medicines
You know, they are
Control
oversight.
Agency,
Yeah,
these-
Medicine Control Agency
Yeah,
that, you know, they are not really doing well as far as oversight is concerned. But
Sure.
we've seen that this is really a good initiative, and we hope that it continues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let them thoroughly look at all these institutions, not just on a maybe yearly basis, but at least not, we cannot say monthly basis. That would be impossible because of human resources and all of that in consideration. But at least on a yearly basis, let them audit, look at thoroughly some of these institutions and see if they are really in compliance or they are not in compliance.
Well, with some of them, it probably needs to be on the basis of if somebody raises a complaint. So it doesn't need to be on an annual basis.
True.
If somebody raises a complaint and said this institution is contravening the rules under which it's operating, they should be able to have an emergency task force that should investigate and deal with that for everybody's sake, for the institution and for the complainant. So, you know, sometimes they don't need to wait.
Politicians say nationwide road cleaning causes economic havoc.
Yeah, you know, Gambia, we have to get serious as a country. We either have people selling stuff on our roadsides and filthying up the whole country, or we clear them. They've cleared people and said, go into markets and ply your trade there. What's the problem? What's the hardship? If I want to buy tomatoes and I can't buy them on the roadside,
go to
what
the
am I
market.
going to do? Am I going to go home? I'll go into the market and buy it there. So we need to stop this nonsense and say, oh, let them do it because it's hardship. It's not hardship. If I'm selling a product or a good or whatever, and you need it and you can't find it on the roadside, you'll find it wherever it is.
You'll meet me in the market.
You meet me wherever it is. So please, let's stop this rubbish.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I am in support of the cleaning exercise.
Of course.
But in another way too, I am against certain actions towards certain people.
Such as?
Now, if my compound gate is maybe obstructing maybe the footpath, you understand, and I took my money, you know, made a gate, and that gate was fixed. If you are to remove that gate, make sure remove it properly so that next time if I am to fix it, I can just use the same gate. But I've seen people whereby they take big hammers and they destroy a full door, a full compound gate, which is wrong. It should not be done that way.
Well, it depends. And the reason I say it depends, because there are rules and regulations. And our rules and regulations, we have become used to being a country that think rules are for idiots, not for us.
It's from the top.
So, no. So
It's
rules,
filtering down to the masses.
Rules are rules. If the rule says nobody is allowed to build a compound gate between a certain amount of meters of a road, then I don't care how much money you spent on it. You had no right to do it. I don't care.
But
You had
Mr.
no
Ade,
right to do it.
Mr. Ade, let's be very frank here. Now,
frank,
okay,
please.
fine. This is my gate. You understand? Before you take a hammer and knock my gate and destroy it completely.
Was your gate
why
built
not,
illegally?
Why not you remove the gate and place it somewhere so that I can use it again?
Why did you build your gate somewhere a gate should not be built? I don't care. Why did
But
you?
even last
Well-
week, if we can remember,
Why did you?
we invited the acting police PRO here, Modu Musa Sisaho, and he did clearly mention that, you know, people who know that they are encroaching or they are in places that are illegal should really remove it before they remove it for them. If
This is
not,
it.
because they will
said it.
forcefully remove it.
Of course.
So yeah, if you think that your place or your stall or your compound
mean,
or
when they
wherever it is
yeah.
really in an illegal structure, make sure you remove it yourself before it is destroyed. Because if they come, they don't have the time really to waste and then
you know,
they
start
massage
doing it nicely,
Really.
unscrewing the bolts and this. Please, you were told to remove it. Remove it. When they did the first round of clearances, right at the beginning of this road exercise, not this current one, I'm talking about 2 years ago or whatever it was. I remember we filmed and one guy was arguing, and the guys who were smashing it said, the guy said, I don't care what paper you show me from physical planning. You bribe somebody to give you that, because even somebody at physical planning must have known that you would not be allowed to build within that amount of meters from the road. He said, I don't care what paper you bring. He said, you bribe to get it. So if you bribe to get it and then you're telling me, oh, when you want to take my gate, please take it off gently, I'm sorry. You
But
bribe.
do you know physical
too,
planning?
They should be.
Physical planning,
They have lots of questions
they have
to answer, really.
Definitely.
You
I
should go
mean,
back to the
most
guy
of
you
these
bribed.
problems,
Get him to
you know,
pay for your gate.
they
But
started
they need
it.
to look at themselves as well.
started
I
it.
mean, a lot of havoc is caused in this country because of them. I'm sorry to say, really. These physical planning people, they really, Mr. Adi, sometimes you give, look at the floats last year, you know, they give compounds to people and they will be bringing their papers to show that, okay,
I was
giving
authorized to
this
build in a flood
flood.
area, flood
Exactly.
risk area, or a throughway where the water should pass. And so, look, we're talking about commissions of inquiry. That is one department that needs to be seriously looked into, because we hear this all the time. People come and they bring piece of paper and they say, but yeah, I'm sorry, but you were not supposed to be given that. So how did you get it? That question hangs. What's the answer? How did you get it? You paid somebody to give it to you.
To get it. I mean, at some point, I mean, that person was only looking up for his or her
For
interest.
themselves.
So that is what it
So
is.
when these people are objecting to these people being cleared from the road, I'm sorry. Yeah, we need to, you know, and it's not just for to make it look pretty. It's for our own health as well. You know, because these people, they sell on the roadsides, people eat there, and they just throw it there. They don't even clean it up. You know, don't take my word for it. I made the mistake of looking down Coastal Road Market yesterday, and I'm sorry I keep mentioning it. It's because it's less than 200 meters from where I live. And like right now, I challenge anybody, go there and look at it and see if that is a place that you think you would like to buy your food from. The place is filthy.
It's filthy.
It's a
Costa Rica is
roadside
always
that's been
filthy.
taken over by the market, and people buy their food there, they eat there, they this, that, or whatever, and they just dump it.
So what happened?
And I've never seen
Is
it
that
swept.
market also cleared?
I said I passed there
on the
yesterday.
road.
It is full.
Then I
Totally
mean, maybe they did not get to that place yet.
It is definitely not clear. I was there just yesterday
Okay.
because I left work early yesterday, so I was able to go early, and the market was thronged. And honestly, without exaggerating, the sight of it shocked me.
Very
At
soon,
the mess.
If it's not controlled,
always like
very
that.
soon people will start selling fish under the bridge.
Oh no, that will happen
Yeah.
in time. That will happen.
They've already started selling.
Under the
They're
bridge.
selling
Not-
all
not
kinds
fish,
of stuff.
yeah.
Not fish, but they're doing afra and they're doing
Yeah.
all these things. And then, of course, people chew their bone and just chicken
Throw it.
bone and just throw it
Yeah.
there. The place looks filthy and it's disgusting.
Aha, it's good that you mentioned chicken bone.
Yeah.
Gambians, we like chicken too much. I mean, the amount of chicken that
Africans love
we
chicken.
consume in
Black
the Gambia.
people love chicken. You
Wow.
go to America,
It's-
you go
it's
to
a lot.
Jamaica.
Yeah, chicken.
Morning is chicken. Afternoon is chicken. Evening is chicken. Every day is chicken.
A cousin of mine used to make the joke that whenever chickens see black people, they run. Because we love chicken.
Well, chicken, be
Chicken so
careful. It's Christmas. Christmas is coming. Be warned. Yeah, so man jail for stealing refrigerator.
Hey, did he?
Really? It's
Now,
too hot.
now you're laughing.
The weather, it's too hot.
Can I tell you that I have actually seen an instance where two people
Yeah.
stole a refrigerator. I was living in Brixton in London, and I was looking outside, and the guy in the delivery van came to deliver something in one of the houses. Unfortunately for him, I think he must have thought, oh, you know, I've got all these big items, nobody's going to steal anything. So the door of the van was left open, and two guys came with a wheelbarrow. They maneuvered the fridge out of the thing, put it in the wheelbarrow, and left with it. So when the driver came back and he locked the door of his truck, I said to him, I said, did you have a fridge in your... He said, yes. I said, check. He said, what happened? I said, two guys stole it. I said, and they took it around the corner. And lucky for him, when he phoned the police, by the time, they were still struggling to get it up the stairs of where they had stolen it. And they were arrested. I mean, can you imagine?
Stealing a fridge.
A fridge, big fridge. I'm not
That
talking
whole
about some
place.
small something. Huge fridge. They maneuvered it out the back, and I was watching them all the time. Like, these guys are serious, because they looked and they saw there was no driver, there was nobody, and the delivery truck, a big truck, and it had fridges, it had washing machines in the back, and so on. Obviously, the fridge, even though it was big, it's a tall fridge. I'm talking about maybe 5 foot something fridge, you know. So it wasn't a small thing. But that looked like the only thing they could move, because a lot of the washing machines, they have this big stone in them.
Yeah,
It's quite heavy.
Yeah, but
to
most
move.
of the time, fridges are very light. Refrigerators.
That one didn't look light, trust me. I've carried a fridge upstairs with people. They're not light. It was a big fridge. It wasn't some small thing.
I mean, I used to have
You were
a
a
small
delivery
fridge.
man?
I carry it.
No, not a small
I carry
fridge.
it myself.
No. I'm
Maybe
talking
it's a
about a big,
freezer.
proper fridge that's probably taller than myself. Yeah, and these guys maneuvered it, and
So
luckily,
niggas going to jail for
trust me,
for stealing a fridge.
For stealing a fridge. They
Must be a
arrested them.
jola or
They
a
arrested
serial.
them.
Well, I
didn't ask them.
I hope the penalty is not. I mean, the number of years he's going to spend in jail is not more than 5 years
No,
for stealing a fridge.
in
I don't think
England-
so. It
in
should
England, in England, you probably spend more time in jail for stealing a fridge than for stealing 300 million pounds. Unfortunately, people who do these big crimes, they hardly ever serve
Big penalties.
jail time. You know, some derisory jail term, but you steal a fridge or something, you probably get 2 or 3
Yes,
years.
I mean, Foraya newspaper is saying paracetamol syrup is the cause of death of 70 children. It's good that they are still talking about this. It's important.
Well, they're
This-
talking because of the
Paracetamol?
court case.
Yes, it's
That
important.
came up in court.
Yeah, we keep talking about
That
this.
came up in court.
You know, it is a very sad incident that happened in the Gambia,
It's
and
tragic.
you know, we cannot just forget about it like that. Time to time, we need to talk about it. We need to show the parents of those children it's still in our hearts. You understand?
I think for those of us who were here in the Gambia when it happened, the fact that 70 children, possibly more, died in such a short period, I don't think it's something we will forget easily, but you're right, the ones who will feel the pain the most are the parents. And they're probably going through it all over again because of the court case. The court case is on right now. And so all these revelations are coming out. You know, WHO and others found that in fact it was the syrup that was responsible for it. So yeah, very tragic circumstance.
And it's a continuous trauma for them, having
yeah.
to go to a hospital or clinic or pharmacy to buy medicine just to cure their loved ones, their babies, and then they end up dying. Is really traumatizing for
True.
them. And anytime
Very.
they go to health facilities, that will just
It
come
will-
back.
It keeps
will-
coming
it
back
will
to
be
them.
Keeps coming
a
back.
recurring nightmare.
Because they will never ever trust, you know, medicine and or
we
whatever.
all know
it
how
is.
we are as parents. When we have children, we start dreaming of what they're going to be, even when before they can even walk.
Yeah.
You know, and suddenly that is taken away from you. That chance to dream.
Imagine
for
a
your
child
child.
that have been there with you in the
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
running, calling you Papa, Mommy all the time, going up and down, and one day the child is no more.
No more.
It's very upsetting.
It's sad.
It is.
Domestic workers' right freedom are violated in Gambia, report says.
Where in the world are they not violated? I know there's an
Everywhere.
organization, there's an association that has been formed to protect the rights
We have
of
the workers' union
but-
in the Gambia.
But there's one specifically now for domestic workers, recently formed. But this is a thing we hear around the world. In some Arab countries, we hear of people who have gone from the Gambia as domestic workers and how they are treated. We've heard it in London, where people have taken domestic workers from here and virtually changed them to the house, not allowed them to leave the house, some of them. Neighbors have become concerned, intervened, and those people escaped, went to the police and reported. So it's a worldwide
It's everywhere.
abuse of domestic workers,
Yes.
one has to say, and contravention of their rights.
True. Jules, I am tired of politicians saying, I sacrificed my life for Gambia. You know, Dabo sacrificed his life for Gambia.
Is that what he said?
Well, that's what is written
Oh, okay.
on the Standard newspaper.
I'm not sure.
Adam
of
Barrow will also
sacrifice.
say, I am the one that killed the lion.
But
You
that's
understand?
not
We all
sacrifice.
killed the lion together. When things were heated, we were all in this country.
But if you have somebody like Nelson Mandela, who went to prison for 27 years,
Yes.
you know, he could have been released earlier because they
Yes.
kept saying to him, you need to renounce violence. And he said, no, the people we are fighting are violent towards us. And why should we not be violent in response to them? So that's an instance of a politician sacrificing his life. Not every politician can make that claim. For some of those who they took a step that could have led to them being in prison or killed, they can legitimately say so. So not every politician can get up and say, I sacrificed my life for Gambia, because it will be fake.
Well,
It will be false.
I have a huge respect for Lawyer Dabo. I have a huge respect for Adam Barrow and all the politicians, because, you know, each and every person contributed your quota. I mean, to changing from a dictatorship to a democratically elected government. I mean, I think that we need to respect everybody. You see, it's telling you how strong we are if we are united.
Absolutely.
as a
Yes,
nation.
and I think the point needs to be made that for some of the people who stayed here to fight the good fight, lots of their fellow Gambians fled because they were scared that they might end up in jail or killed. And some of them stayed. They didn't run away. And so, you know, for those people, I think we owe them a lot, because had everybody fled, then we would still be under a dictatorship. So I think he's right to make that claim, possibly.
We call them the freedom fighters.
Yeah.
And the April, maybe he's talking about the April 14 incident where they were protesting about electoral reforms.
Arrested.
And
And
arrested, where
and
Solo
such
Sunday, you know, end up being dead.
Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe he's referring to that incident.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I said we have huge respect for the politicians. They've changed. Solo Sandeng lost his life. I mean, I think Solo, it's a person that, you know, Gambia shouldn't forget about. I mean, I was even saying, why not we build a monument where we name it after Solo Sandeng? Why not we build a statue somewhere around Westfield of Solo Sandeng?
Yeah, I think not just to Solo Sandeng, because there were others, some of whose names we don't even know, who were also killed. I think we need to build a monument to all of those. And that will be the thing that will make us never forget, because it will be something we can see, and that will always remind us.
Generation.
Yes, and there's a reason why in other countries they do this, because they want people to remember, and they want to also honor the memories of those people. And we should do that. So maybe not just Solo Sandeng, but I think all the others. Because if you start, if it's just one person, then you have somebody saying, why not this person, why not that person? There were many. And I think it should be in the names of all of them. And even if all of their names are listed on that monument, that could be something that would be a fitting memorial, certainly.
Well, I mean, I think they were wise enough to name the conference center after Sadauda Kairaba Jawara.
Of course.
You know, and that will definitely show how the guys stood for the country.
Yes, he has an
with his people.
unassailable position in our history. First Prime Minister, first President. Can't take that away from him, so on. I see in some countries now, not just now, I mean I think last week, there was a stadium named after Paul Biya. I've never been one for naming after people who are alive. It's just vanity, usually, on their part. Same in Sierra Leone, the Shaka Stevens Stadium. He was still alive when it was named after him. And originally, it was just going to be called the National Stadium. And I know that because I went there one day when they were getting ready to put up the banner that said Sierra Leone National Stadium. And so the next day I was flying out. When I came back 6 months later, I saw it had been renamed the Shaka Stevens Stadium. And I thought, what happened? And they said, oh, you know, some politicians went and said, oh, you know, we think they should honor the president, and so we've renamed it. So just rubbish.
Well, you know, the problem with names, people don't adopt. I mean, sometimes it's difficult. I mean, the Arch 22nd is supposed to be the memorial arch. Yes. But people still call it Arch 22nd.
Never mind Arch 22nd. Royal Victoria.
Hospital.
People call it
RVTH. RVTH up till now.
It's been
Edward Francis for how many years?
We call it RVTH Hospital.
RVTH.
So adopting
people are
to these
used to
things,
it.
sometimes I think we need to change. I mean, let's accept change.
It's
difficult.
It's not just it's human nature. I mean, you go to Cabo Verde. There's a place called it's Praça Nova, which just means new square, but it's actually called Praça Amilcar Cabral, named after their liberator. But nobody calls it Praça Amilcar Cabral. Everybody's used to calling it Praça Nova, which was under the Portuguese, and they still call it. But when you go there, the sign actually says Praça Amilcar Cabral.
Is it in Paraya?
No, it's not in Praia. It's in Mindelo, in Southeast.
Mindelo.
Well,
Nice
I mean,
Mindelo.
December, end of December,
You'll be there.
We'll be experiencing Kibbutz. I mean,
Inshallah.
Yes.
I'll go check it out. I'll go check out.
You must.
I'll
We
go
should
check
all
it out.
go there.
Yes.
I said to Mr. Ade that he's not leaving me behind. No.
I'm taking everybody with me.
175 tourists arrives in the Gambia through Rainbow Tours.
So is this going to link into World Tourism Market update with Mam Sheikh Ngom or not?
Well, I mean, unfortunately,
No.
yes, we won't be able to.
We haven't been able
link
to. Okay,
up.
all right. Well, but yes.
Yes.
I went to meet some friends at a hotel yesterday, and there was an appreciable number of tourists. There were people from, I met people from Denmark, Sweden, United Kingdom, people from America, from Sierra Leone, who were here as tourists. And in fact, some of them are going on a Roots tour on Sunday. So they're coming. And I drove down Senegambia. A lot of people who are obviously not residents enjoying the restaurants along Senegambia.
Yeah.
It's coming in sort of
Yeah.
dribs and drabs. It's picking up again
It's
after
picking
kind
up.
of COVID
Yeah.
affected
Yeah.
years.
Well, I think next year would even be better because
Better and bigger.
the world travel market will also impact it.
Well, we hope so, and we've said before when we discussed World Travel Market that we hope that we've been able to sell the Gambia in the way that it should be sold. We can see from some of the footage here. We've got some lovely videos which show the beauty of the country, and we hope they've been able to use that to entice people. But also, we were saying that we need to up our game in terms of our infrastructure because we're competing with other destinations. And if I can go somewhere else and get a better experience, why would I come to the Gambia? So, we're not the only country with beaches. We're not the only country with a river. We're not the only country that has birds. So what else do we have that will bring people here rather than have them go somewhere else? And these are the things that we need to do and to sell. I mean, when you go to the World Travel Market, I was saying yesterday when we were discussing it, I'm always impressed with the Arab countries, particularly they spend a lot of money, Morocco, Tunisia, and they get lots of visitors from the United Kingdom go to those countries. And then you have the big guns in Africa, like Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda. They spend a lot of money on their stand, but they have the money to spend.
Yeah.
And we our stand is nice, and we kind of make do. But what is good is that our minister is there the whole time. Pardon me?
It's visa free. Rwanda, I mean. We should try and go there and visit.
Yeah, it's visa free. They've been inviting me for the last 4 years. I have a friend who relocated from London, and he keeps saying, you must come, you will love it. So I think I'll take him up. Vincent, if you're watching, I know he watches the program sometimes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ade, for coming on the platform.
Always a thrill.
Hopefully, see you on Monday too.
Inshallah.
Our weekend starts today.
Weekend starts today.
Yes.
For this program.
Exactly. So we'll take a short break. No break.
No break?
No
Okay.
break. We're going straight to a music break. It's the Click segment. It's the return of the Click segment here on the morning program. For a long time we didn't do the Click, but it is necessary because my artist himself is launching, and it should be big.
I think
For that being the case, we have to introduce the Click segment back on this program.
I was going to say.
Peer, is it the peer guy?
No.
You
This
you
one
don't
is-
spoil it because you can't
Gambia's number 2.
you can't take Gambia's number 1. You can't take away Churchill's big intro, surely, but
Yeah.
just introduce Churchill and
Yeah.
Churchill will do the rest.
Yeah. So my guy is going to launch. So we have to bring the Click segment. Imagine we have to bring our Click segment back for my artist
That says a lot.
because our launching is going to be spectacular. It's going to be huge. So we'll take a music video. We'll be back.
Louder. Dada. Afonye jumale nyino jang. Jumale nyino jang. Karapal padi komintan jang. Ponyel kangundan jang. Afonye jumale nyino jang. Jumale nyino jang. Karapal padi komintan jang. Moke kombatale. Moke kombatale. Numil pentale. Kalon yin nigga sol waktale. Moke kombatale. Buko Pep Guardiola, imit and fight level can stop no Cafonye Yamba. Competition DJ, Nila Timol Winger DJ, Gambia Beka JB and Dokel Kuntu Kafo Pele, Niye Santo JB, Iye Tilo JJ, Niye Jiso JB, Ika Hussein Dadan JJ, Doma Kanan Tele, Nila Kido Kese DJ, Nina Rapal JB, Teka Sada Jamal DJ, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Boysolbe, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Hey, Paso GB, baby, littering, Ikapo Additu, baby, Sikring, Come Chapel, baby, Faring, Jim Mastalu, baby, Fitring, Nila Koto, Hamochi J, Ila Paso, wait, DJ, Ika Bright Eye, Botaki J, Toka Nyambota, Nanyebe J, Jola Kai Boli, Boli, Mandin Ko Kai Kandiko Fali, Ika Pokona Pilo, Lemin Katari, Jane, Hatilo Kati, Kana hit Somolia, Puru Gambia, Momon Dika Pati, Kedon Di Taro Kaji, and Katina before Samakaji, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Boysolbe, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Boysolbe, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Hey, Paso GB, baby, littering, Ikapo Additu, baby, Sikring, Come Chapel, baby, Faring, Jim Mastalu, baby, Fitring, Nila Koto, Hamochi J, Ila Paso, wait, DJ, Ika Bright Eye, Botaki J, Toka Nyambota, Nanyebe J, Jola Kai Boli, Boli, Mandin Ko Kai Kandiko Fali, Ika Pokona Pilo, Lemin Katari, Jane, Hatilo Kati, Kana hit Somolia, Puru Gambia, Momon Dika Pati, Kedon Di Taro Kaji, and Katina before Samakaji, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Boysolbe, Ibatele, 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 Dado, Ibatele, 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 Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale, Moke Combatale, Moke Combatale, Ninyul Pentale, Kalon Yindiga Sol Watale.
Qcell mooy suñu boss Qcell mooy suñu boss Qcell mooy suñu boss Soro Go ebe dawa full network suuta tili Qcell ni lafta demla wati jamala mune diyata Qcell most reliable network dumala keta wati Qcell wo quality man nyon soto jam ona manke Qcell hani be wuloni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network ko se taria Qcell suñu boss ñu fi njëkka indi 3G ñu dellu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G 5G first and only 5G provider itella follow adi doron nesa keno Gambia bela nyon tawo fele Qcell ko fasun tawo buka bussi Qcell itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia Qcell meta lori la kilianol yele imanjina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma Qcell suñu boss Qcell suñu boss Qcell suñu boss Qcell suñu boss connection be bambandi Qcell suñu boss Qcell most innovative Qcell suñu boss
The future is now. With Qcell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Yes, this is QTV This Morning. We are back again. Like I said, it's the intro of the Click segment again, and we have my brother Churchill Balde right in the building.
You already know the vibe. It's your man right here, Churchill
Wagwan.
Balde. Come Lili Namonla, understand?
Wow.
And thank God you tell us what in a grand style because we have one of the biggest in the game right now.
Yeah.
002. I don't know whether he still goes by 002. Why? You already know who is in the building, so you better come introduce Bob.
Hey, yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Hussein Dada. We're back on the Click segment. QTV is about to go down. You know, me and my man Churchill, so y'all stay tuned, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's just vibes because we've done this
several times.
Several times. So
Yeah.
time on what time like vibe, you know, we just talk about the album and stuff. But man, if you come your Sunekoton music, like if you had the opportunity to choose something different from music, what would you have what would you have chosen?
Probably maybe a journalist.
You would have become a journalist.
Yeah, because
Why?
I'm very good at communicating, so yeah, so
And you communicate well in your songs.
yeah, definitely, yeah, so I believe that would have been my profession. Like.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, that's nice. So the 002 tattoo. Do you
Yeah.
still go by the 002 tattoo? I'm just curious right now.
Yeah, well, like, you know, the 002 title, like, it really brought a lot of, like, you know, craziness on the internet,
True.
you know, in the industry. You know, at some point, like, I realized that I shouldn't have said it somehow
Okay.
because I should have let the fans decide
Decide.
who was who and who was what, like, you feel me? So 002 came and then it passed, and now I feel like, you know, I'm in a more mature state, like, or in a more mature place, you know, and I'm just trying to unite everybody, like, you know, musically and that. So I feel like, you know, the 002, we just leave that in 2022, and now it's just me focusing on, like, doing what I do best, like.
I love this new mentality of yours because this shows that
yeah.
you've matured. You
Yeah,
understand? Because
yeah.
that's human nature. We have to mature into something else because that is how you grow. Understand what I mean?
Bro.
So living that mentality behind, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, man.
So let's talk about your current situation right now. You know how many album wajal. So let's delve straight into the album. You had a listening party last weekend.
Yeah.
What was the turnout and how do
Well,
people
the
feel?
listening party was great, like,
Nice.
because from the first song called Feelings, you know, this song is actually dedicated to the whole Gambian music industry in general. Like, you know, this song is talking about, like, you know, how sometimes we receive criticism in a very different way, like, you know, because once you are on the internet, people talk bad about you. You're a human being, you know, you're not a superhuman or whatever. Like, sometimes it gets to you to a point that it gets you in your feelings. So this song, when I was writing it, I was, like, in my feelings in general. Like, so this song is dedicated to the Gambian music in a way that I put it in a 4 level. Like, the first one is to tell the people what kind of mood I was in when I was writing the song. And the second one is to tell the artist that there is a bigger space in the room for us all to
Everyone,
shine.
yeah.
So we just have to realize that, you know, and become one. And then you have the third. Now me, I'm talking to the fans to tell them how much we appreciate them, you know, to tell them how much they mean to us. Like, you know, without them, we will not get paid because they're the ones that buy the tickets, the songs and stuff like that. Then you have the last part of the song, which now I'm just giving shout outs to any artist artists out there, you know, and then I'm naming them, like, you know, so it's new. And then when I played it at the listening party, you know, everybody was quiet for a minute because they were listening. But when they started hearing different names of different artists, you know, everybody was just going crazy all of a sudden. Yeah, so it's a song that once you listen to the album, because the album is coming out tonight, 12 a.m. inshallah. So once you listen to that song, it's gonna get you hooked throughout the whole album. You know.
So how many songs do we have on the album?
We have 12 songs.
12 songs. How many Gambian features?
We have 6 Gambian features with 1 Senegalese.
1 Senegalese.
So 7 features all total.
Nice. So you are someone that collaborates with, you have collaborated with local artists and international artists. Which one of your collaboration do you feel stands out the most? Which one did you enjoy doing the most?
Doing the most, it's a collabo.
That seems like a tough one there, because you've done so many collaborations.
Yeah, because right now I get to think about all the songs, all the collabos that I've been on. I'll say, you know, I'm not gonna lie, but then the collabos that I really enjoyed the most were with Chanta. You know, because we had this connection.
Yeah, there was this vibe between you.
There was this vibe, there was this brotherhood and stuff. Yeah, so it would be with him, you know.
So how do you feel? Because ever since you guys went solo, focusing on your projects, how do you feel that you have skyrocketed and he stands still?
Yeah, because
that's the honest truth.
Yeah, because
but shout outs to him though.
Me and Chanta,
he's a great artist.
We're different artists, like, and right now he's not doing music.
He's not doing anything. Yeah.
No, he's not even doing music in general. Like, he left. Yeah, he quit. Like,
he quit music.
Yeah. It's not.
Is this public knowledge?
Yeah, public. Now I'm just saying that out there. That, you know, he's not doing music right now. But even before that, you know, Chanta and me, we're 2 different individuals. Like, you know, I'm like the one who really does my stuff and then put it on the internet, you know, try to connect with the fans. And he is the one who just, you know, lay low and do his stuff, like maybe privately and stuff like that. But, you know, like 2 different people, 2 different ways of doing things. So
do you have any? Does he have any specific reason?
I believe he will tell the public.
He should be in the right position to tell us. Now, what we do is, we know International Local is the name of the album. So what I want you to do is to tell. I don't want you to tell us what to expect. I want you to show us what to expect. So, but before we go on that performance, I want to know, why did you name your album International Local? Why that unique name? Yeah,
well, International Local was created by Uche. Okay. Because when I was doing the song, I did the verse, and then I called him and I was like, I need you on this song, so I want you to do I want you to do a hook for me. So when I sent it to him, he did the hook. When it came out, you know, there had been a song called Baddest Local. So I didn't want to name, I didn't even want to name the song International Local, because I was thinking, once I do that, some people are too negative to a point that they might say he's trying to, like, you know, get attached to something else. But after, I didn't find a name for it, so I was like, let me just name it International Local. So when I was naming the album as well, I was thinking about different names, so I just decided to take International Local and name it the album. Because
now let's do this right now. Give us the International Local, which give us that performance that we'll be expecting at Q City coming December 9th. Let's vibe with this right now.
Let's go.
My man.
Let's do it.
Stylish Pro Max.
Vroom, vroom, that's the sound of what they drive.
I don't know what you heard about me, but man taita cheku. Nyembol katumuru kanko malente benyel nyal to the pussy boy take two. Been since 2016, doing nene mammo kile mutaka doku. Gold cut street kane kamera Ferrari race from Brixton down to Chaku. Everybody feeling my sound that's litty. Party and then man sound to it. Bad girl out there sending me a titties. I don't wanna get involved. I'm busy. Rhymes roll for the G kanko biggie. Suko that big I'm on my city. When I'm on stage, it's a macking steady. Move with a way from where lady.
Vroom vroom, that's the sound of what I drive. The packs are cognac anytime. Call me International Local, and it be more man. Remember you tell you that bang fine. This is my boy inside. International Local, and it be more man.
How many guys wanna take my spot, never share they could visa? Don't mess with the gang, they finna puff you like they smoking on shisha. Nyal be ulerin kumol be kandering hasta la vista. Too many girls say they love me, but I see them as my sisters. See I'm not a little boy, you can never play me like a toy. You said that I'm climbing on these motherfuckers like my middle name Troy. Yeah, Kendo feeling book a noise. At the mutala no take a pause. I be tripping hard
Oh, yo, my man. Q City is not gonna be easy. December 9.
December 9, shut down already.
Take us through on December 9. What is happening?
Well, December 9, you know, it's a different event because like I can feel the echo right now. Like I could feel like the scream for that day. Like, you know, everybody's just like waiting for it. You know, everybody's asking like what's happening, you know. But the album in general, once it is out, I believe I'm good, like, you know, then I'll just sit back, relax.
And that's Data City, what you telling me? That's Data City.
The album would do all the talking, you know, because to be honest with you, I've like, this is my third studio album, but this is the album that I felt like, you know, now, you know, people will listen to him and be like, yeah, Hussein, he's now here, like, you feel me? He's at the highest, like, level of his career, like, you know, now the maturity and everything, you know, they all coming out. You know, I believe people are gonna get this.
That's a maza.
Quick.
Well, okay.
Choshel.
Right. So my outfit is from Barcelona Fashion for all the drip kings, all the slay queens. You already know the vibe. Barcelona Fashion is your place to be. So if you want to look fly like this, today I'm dressed in the 90s. I bring the 90s back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the
man.
90s back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're from LA.
I mean, look at the 90s kids boasting. 90s kids boasting
Thank
about
you
90s.
for hooking me up with this outfit. Yo, thanks,
Yes,
man.
He's sponsored my outfit. You could see from my shoes up. He's the one who sponsored it. So if you want to link him up, you can link him up at 59107855, 59107885. He's located at Serekunda and he sells everything.
Yes, mine is sponsored by my wife.
Right?
Madam. All right, thank you very much. See you December 9. Bye-bye.